You keep telling yourself that you don't have time to do what you know is required to fix your health, your energy, your presence at home, whilst building your business or high-pressure career around the important parts of your life, rather than how you're currently having to build your life around your business or your career. If this relates, then make sure you watch to the end of this video. Now, I don't have time is the most common narrative that I hear. I get it. You're working long hours, you've got kids, a partner, mortgage, responsibilities coming at you from every angle. Convincing yourself that you don't have time seems like a logical and rational thing to think, and it makes sense. It also sounds noble and relatable when you say it to others. But the truth is, your lack of time is not a problem. It can actually be your biggest advantage. Most blokes believe that they need more time to get results, more training, more meal prep, more downtime, more sacrifice, more hours in the day, and that's exactly why they fail. They keep trying to execute a plan built for a completely different time of their life. A season with fewer responsibilities, more margin, less load. You look back to a time in your life when a strategy might have yielded the results that you want now. You assume that what you did then is what you also need to do now in order to get the results that you want. In this video, I'm going to show you why constraints can actually encourage strategic thinking and how doing less, more strategically, actually yields better results than doing more. Welcome to episode 4 of 6. If you're yet to watch episodes 1, 2, or 3, then I strongly suggest that you go back and watch these first before continuing with this episode. If you have been following this series, then you understand now some of the essential frameworks that I use with members of Op Rebuild. In episode 1, we covered the dimmer switch or the 6-pillar system, priority versus maintenance. In episode 2, you learned the blueprint for planning contingencies when life throws curveballs at you and how to pivot between the different chapters of your day so you stop getting blindsided or caught off guard. In episode 3, we built your identity anchor across all 6 pillars and you clearly defined who you're training to be. At the end of episode 3, I made you a promise. I said in episode 4, we fix the I don't have time problem and we eradicate the word busy from your vocabulary altogether. So that's what today is all about. Making your identity anchor practical through minimum viable actions, low-hanging fruit that fits into your actual life, not the life you used to have, not the life you wished you had, the life you're actually living right now with all of its demands and its constraints. There's a concept from medicine called the minimal effective dose. It's the smallest amount of a drug that produces the desired effect, and anything beyond that is a waste, diminishing returns. The same principle applies to your health, your fitness, your presence, your energy, your finances, your work, your business, your hobbies, everything. The first 20% of your effort ultimately yields 80% of your results, while the next 80% of effort often yields only 20% of the results. Now, most blokes are grinding away in that second zone, exhausting themselves for marginal gains. And because the whole thing requires so much effort to maintain, particularly when life gets busy, which it always does, your plan collapses. Often after only a few days after you starting again. After watching this video, you're going to do something completely different. You're going to find your high leverage actions, the minimum investments that yield disproportionate returns, something that fits into the cracks of your day, things that compound, and you're going to build your plan around your hardest, busiest, most oversubscribed and time-consuming weeks. That way, you can stick to your plan no matter what happens, which will result in consistency. Consistency ultimately helps you build the evidence that you're becoming the man that you want to be. And by doing all of these things for a long enough a period of time, that will result in you experiencing the results that will keep you highly driven and highly motivated. Those feelings would outweigh the momentary satisfaction of remaining lazy, continuing to procrastinate like you might already be doing now. Now, if you think the small actions that I'm gonna share with you can't add up to real visible results, let me tell you about 2 blokes that I've worked with. Both of them, funnily enough, called Dan. The first Dan was in a bad place, helpless, depressed, ashamed, and disappointed with himself, completely overwhelmed by life. No control, zero motivation, no financial discipline. He was running a business while juggling the demands of a 2-year-old and a 6-week-old baby. He'd convinced himself there was no room left for him. He started implementing what I'm going to walk you through, minimum viable actions woven into the cracks of his day. He started planning time to prioritize himself, not because he suddenly had more time, but because he'd finally stopped using busy as an excuse. And despite a significant ankle injury, bad knees, chronic health issues, and complex PTSD, he lost 50 pounds in 12 weeks, and the knock-on effects hit his business too, because the strategies, systems, and structures we built into his life didn't just improve his health, they improved everything.
For me, having you once a week for accountability, just to tell you how the week's gone, just to tell you the things that I've struggled with, it fucking helps so much. It's such a big thing.
The second Dan was out of balance, unmotivated, no fun in his life, a lot of stress, poor nutrition. He wasn't living congruently with the man he wanted to be. He started applying these same principles, minimum viable actions, low-hanging fruit, consistently, and he lost 49 pounds in 12 weeks. But more than that, he started actually living. He climbed Mont Blanc, then the Matterhorn. He completed a number of long-distance cycling events. He inspired the people around him. Not because he found more time, and that's the point, because he stopped waiting for the perfect block of it and started using what he already had. Now, these guys achieved what they did with minimum viable actions, stacked consistently over at least 12 weeks. Exactly what I'm about to walk you through. So let's delve into 5 strategies that will help you do exactly that. Strategy 1, the pivot ritual. This builds directly on the pillar pivot from episode 2, but I want to make it specific to your health and your energy. Here's the problem. You finish work, you've been switched on for 8, 10, 12 hours, your nervous system is fried, you walk through the front door and your body is screaming for relief. Food, alcohol, mindless scrolling, anything to decompress. Because your nervous system is still in work mode, you're not present. You're irritable, you're checked out. The pivot ritual takes 2 minutes. When you finish work, you do a physiological sigh, 2 quick inhales through your nose, 1 long exhale through your mouth. 3 times, that's it. That resets your nervous system, moves you from fight or flight to rest and digest, and then you add a physical anchor, something like changing your clothes, splash cold water on your face, step outside for 2 minutes, something that signals to your brain that work is done. That's it, 2 minutes. Do it consistently, your cravings drop, your presence improves, and you collect new evidence that you can manage your own state. This is how identity gets built, through small, repeated proof. Strategy 2, sleep shifting. This is possibly the most powerful health, energy, and fat loss move you've never tried or considered. Here's the problem. Dinner's done, kids are in bed, you've finally got free time, but you're tired and your willpower is depleted, so you end up snacking, scrolling, pouring a drink, and because you're up late, you're tired the next morning too. You hit snooze, you skip training, you're behind before the day starts, so the cycle repeats the next evening. The fix is painfully simple. Simply move your bedtime forwards by 30 minutes. That's it. Here's what happens. You remove the evening snacking window entirely. You're asleep instead of raiding the cupboards. Your hunger hormones regulate better with consistent sleep, so you're naturally less hungry the following day. And you free up morning time. You wake up earlier, naturally. You've got 15, 20, 30 minutes for yourself before the chaos of the day starts. 3 problems solved with 1 change to your environment. No willpower required. This one has been the biggest hack for me. I incorporate my bedtime routine into that with my kids. I go to bed with them. My evenings are filled with quality time. We go for a walk and we read a book. Their bedtime routine is my bedtime routine. And if I go to bed at around 8 p.m, I'm able to then get up naturally without an alarm somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, which gives me typically more than 2 hours of me time. And I can choose to be productive or even just chill out, relax, and decompress before the start of the day. Strategy 3, movement snacking. Now here's the problem. In your head, exercise requires a dedicated block of time. An hour at the gym, warm up, do your session, shower, drive home. And because you don't have that block available, you do nothing instead. You tell yourself that you'll start when things calm down, but they never do. You say you'll start when you have more time. That's never the case. Movement snacking is different. It's integrating movement into your existing routines, such as press-ups when the kids' bath fills, bodyweight squats while dinner cooks, active play with your kids, running around, playing football, not watching from the sofa or the park bench, walking meetings on Zoom or on the phone, responding to emails using apps like Whisper Flow so that you can walk and write simultaneously, stairs instead of the lifts, parking further away. I know it doesn't sound like much, but every single day it builds evidence that you are an active bloke. It builds momentum, and momentum compounds. Your identity anchor stops being words on paper and starts becoming reality. Strategy 4, daytime eating simplification. This is about controlling calories without obsessing over them. The problem is that you're making food decisions all day. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack. By evening, your decision-making capacity is shot because you've been busy or at work. That's when you reach for whatever is easiest. That's when the takeaway gets ordered, you snack in the cupboards. You're told that you need to track everything on MyFitnessPal in order to get the results that you want. Now, consuming the right amount of proteins, fats, and carbs, therefore calories, consistently will certainly help you improve your body composition. Obsessively tracking everything you eat is a strategy that is probably not going to work for you if you're as busy as you say you are. Daytime fuel simplification is simple. Keep breakfast and lunch consistent, controlled, and easy to repeat. Protein, fruit, vegetables, meat, fish, eggs, dairy, fruit, etc. Nothing complicated, nothing that requires a recipe book. And you watch out for the hidden calories, liquid calories, your morning latte, flat white, which can be 300 calories before you've even eaten anything. No mayo, no oil, no dressings, your kids' leftovers, these all add up quietly day after day. If you're anything like me, I can go most of the day without thinking about food. So I don't need exciting recipes for my breakfast, lunch, and snacks if required. Daytime eating is important because it helps minimize overeating in the evening. Now, I'm okay eating the same or similar things on a daily basis. It helps me understand how much I've eaten during the day, and it gives me some more wiggle room in the evening for dinner at the table with family. Now, I can't give you specific numbers here in this video. One thing I like to do is try and keep my daytime eating to 1,500 calories or less. That means that I have plenty of room for a standard evening meal, and I can rest assured that I'm not over-consuming my total daily intake. Now, when you simplify daytime fuel, you reduce decision fatigue, you control calories effortlessly, and you enjoy your evening without feeling ravenous, the cravings. You can make a choice from your identity instead of impulse and how you feel. Strategy 5, recovery for performance. Now, most blokes get this completely wrong, particularly those who feel as though they're not already doing enough. They think that recovery is lazy. They think that the answer is to push harder, sleep less, and that's backwards. Your effectiveness in every pillar comes from maximizing your output within your working hours, not from working more. Recovery, as performance, has 5 key components. Quality sleep, so dark room, cool temperature, no screens before bed. Morning sunlight, 15 to 20 minutes within the first hour of waking to regulate your circadian rhythm. Short walks, 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. Hydration, consistently all day, every day. And peak energy windows. You have maybe 3 to 4 hours of peak cognitive performance per day. Use them wisely for your most important work, the tasks that grow your business. Don't waste them on emails. You're not just recovering, you're buying back time through efficiency. And you're building evidence that you respect your own body enough to invest in it. So here's what I want you to understand with these minimum viable actions. You're not building a perfect routine. You're not trying to become the version of you from 15 years ago when you had fewer responsibilities and less load. That man had a different life, and you have this life. You can still achieve all of the goals you want and desire. You just need a strategy that's effective for this present tense version of you. You're building new evidence that you can be healthy, present, performing at a high level now, with your current constraints, with your current demands. Each time you do the pivot ritual, you're proving you can manage your state. Each time you go to bed 30 minutes earlier, you're proving you can prioritize yourself. Each time you do push-ups while the kettle boils, you're proving that you can be active. Each time you keep your daytime eating simple and consistent, you're proving you can make strategic choices regardless of the mood that you're in. Small wins, but they compound. They reprogram what you believe about yourself. They build the identity you wrote down in episode 3, one piece of evidence at a time. And here's something I want you to stop doing today. Stop calling yourself busy. Busy is a limiting belief. It's a badge of honor that sabotages your goals. It's the story that you tell yourself to justify inaction. It's what you say when you don't want to admit your strategy was wrong in the first place. Instead, define yourself by the attributes of the man you're becoming. disciplined, mentally strong, efficient, good at prioritizing, a role model to your children, a leader in your home, someone who manages his energy, not just his time, someone who does less more strategically and gets a lot more from it. Now, don't wait until Monday. Do not wait for things to calm down, because they won't. Pick one of these 5 strategies, just one for now, the one that addresses your biggest sticking point right now, like mine was going to bed earlier. Implement it this week, build new evidence that you can do this and that you are becoming this man. And comment below, tell me which strategy you are starting with and why. Commit, make it real. Now in episode 5, it's where all of this comes together. I'm going to show you how to get in great physical shape, build an incredible level of self-confidence and improve your long-term health and athleticism, specifically for blokes over the age of 40. Now this isn't about getting back into your 20s, it's about building a body and presence that makes you look like the role model you want to be, and more importantly, act like one. So click in the next video now, episode 5, and I'll see you in that one.